Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time I have the unboxing of the Nubia Z60 Ultra. Let's get started. This device is a flagship, but pay attention because Nubia is having a very aggressive pricing strategy. In Mexico, it is sold through Mercado Libre at a price of around 14,500 pesos. On the screen, you see the reference price in dollars, but remember that the prices here are not the same as there. Considering how prices are in Mexico, this device is one of the cheapest flagships. There is no doubt that it is going to be ultra attractive, as its name says. So join me in uncovering it. On the lid of the box, we find that it says, designed by Nubia. Let's take out the cell phone. And just look at the tremendous surprise we are getting. The camera looks massive, the red ring gives it a nice touch, the top camera has a completely different design, and the third camera also has a different design. And notice how this camera module sticks out too much, plus the zoom camera sticks out even more. We found extremely high resolution sensors and a good size. That's why you see this tremendous relief. I'll tell you more about its specifications in a moment. For now, let's turn it on and see what else comes in the box. As you can see, we find the key to remove the tray and then the usual paper. Afterwards, we are going to have the case. Let's see. In this case, it's a hard case with protected corners, but all the frames are a little more exposed. Although that will also help you to feel the more premium material and not feel the acrylic of the case. Let's put it on. Notice that we'll also find the USB-C to USB-C cable in a red hue, in true Red Magic style. If you didn't know, Red Magic is from Nubia, and Nubia in turn is from ZTE, a fact that you'll probably find unexpected. Let's see what else is in the box. As you can see, we are in front of a considerably powerful charger. Specifically, it's an 80-watt charger. Let's put the contents of the box away and then take one more look at the cell phone. And okay, I've already got the device set up, so let's tell you all the specifications that we can find on it. It weighs 246 grams and is 8.78 millimeters thick, although the camera sticks out more. Definitely that it is a device that feels heavy, then it is not for all users, but the fact that it feels heavy also gives the feeling that it is a fairly advanced device, especially in the photographic system. The screen is AMOLED 6.8 inches in its diagonal with a resolution of 2480 by 1116 pixels. It has 120 Hz in its refresh rate and its peak is 1500 nits. Definitely that is a very advanced and very good screen. The front camera is underneath the screen. It is 16 megapixel with f2.0 aperture, and on the back we find a pretty advanced camera system. The main one is 35 millimeters, unlike most smartphones which are 24 millimeters. It offers us 50 megapixels with f-aperture 1.59 and optical stabilization. We will also have the wide angle, also 50 megapixels with f-aperture 1.8 and optical stabilization. And finally, the telephoto camera of 85 millimeters, 64 megapixels and optical stabilization as well. In this case, its aperture is f3.3. So all three cameras have high resolution and all three cameras have optical stabilization. That's a very rare thing to see. And notice that interestingly it has a special switch to enter the camera, so it's an easy way to open this mode. Although it is curious because in this mode is a different interface. As you notice here, there is no possibility to click on these buttons to change the focal length, so we have a completely different interface that in this part even has a background like textured to represent what a professional camera would look like. So it is quite curious because with the switch, you enter a different camera interface from the one you enter when you press the icon on the main screen. Because with the switch, it doesn't allow you to rotate to the front camera, while with the camera, it does allow you to do this action. So it's a little weird, but I like the fact that it has a special switch. You can actually customize it if you want it to act differently. Here's a little glimpse of how the pictures come out. First, this is the preview of the photo and it looks completely overexposed the back area and a very cloudy effect due to the camera under the screen. After processing the result, the overexposed areas are removed and come out better lit, but the ghosting effect remains, especially in these scenes that are backlit. If you are in a scene with good lighting, the photographs will be much better defined and of good quality, but if you need to have optimal lighting, we have tested this same camera on the Red Magic device and at night it will suffer a lot in video recording. So even though it is a camera that has advanced quite a bit, I don't like to see it on a flagship. Although if you are not a person who usually takes selfies, you probably want to take advantage of the fact that it is not stealing space on the screen, and that would be an advantage. Now let's take a quick look at the camera. In this case, we're looking at the 18mm lens and it takes a very good picture. With that same lens, it's curious that it allows us to switch to a 24mm configuration, which would be a traditional smartphone camera. Notice how we can click on the 18 and it turns into 24mm. Then we have 35mm, which would be 1x. That's why it's not as advisable to talk in terms of 1x, 2x's or more. Because in this case, 1x would be 35mm, while in other smartphones, 1x is actually 24mm. Either way, on the slider ring, it will show you the approximations. 0.5x on this phone would be 18mm, then 1x would be 35mm. Then it would give us 2x's at 85mm. And we have in this device a maximum zoom of 30x digitally. But let's keep looking at the results. This is the ultra-wide camera, and I think it comes out very well. Here's the ultra-wide camera with a crop for the 24mm. We have here the 35mm photograph with the main camera, and I insist that it comes out quite well, although the colors are slightly more saturated than natural. We have here another setting to go up and up and up, and honestly that camera performs considerably high. Even at this maximum zoom 30x, that still maintains a fairly good quality, especially considering the price it has, possibly the best camera in this price segment. Also, the battery is 6000 milliamps, so it comes with an excellent capacity. It supports 80-watt charging, and yes, it comes included in the box as you saw. It's also IP68 certified, so if you happen to drop it in the water, it has a good chance of surviving. It also has an in-display fingerprint connector for convenient unlocking. It comes with Android 14 out of the box and ZTE's MIOS 14 layer. It has up to 16 gigabytes of RAM and up to 512 gigabytes of storage. In fact, it also has extended RAM that you can expand up to an additional 12 gigabytes. Definitely that for this price, it is an extremely attractive device for all its specifications. Plus the processor is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. So we're going to benchmark this processor, and we'll come back when this test is over to read the score. And here's the score. 2,254 on single core and 7,009 points on multi-core. Definitely very powerful. Its brother, the Red Magic 9 Pro, it scored slightly higher, but evidently with fan and a lot more cooling. Let's just say they are devices that are very similar, but one focused on gaming and one focused on photography. For the moment, this has been all for this video. If you liked it, you know you can tell us about it, and we'll see you next time.